he's supposed to be that, but he believed bullshit. Look. Hi guys, Black is here. Name one time you changed the filter on something and it messed up. Name one time, just one time you changed the filter on something and it messed it up. You have air filters in your car. And what is the air filter there for? To keep dirt from getting in your engine, okay? If you're not gonna do it, but if you drove a car 180,000 miles with the factory air filter, do you think replacing the factory air filter is gonna mess something up? You buy a car, you drive it 180,000 miles, you've never changed the oil and filter. Again, it's not gonna last that long, but just say if you did, would you be afraid to change the oil and filter? Some people say, well, Black, that's not the same thing. The person who says that does not have any automotive videos, does not have any automotive videos. But here we go. The engine has an oil pump. The transmission has an oil pump. The engine has oil. The transmission has transmission fluid, which is a oil. They call it a fluid because it actually does work. Now, most engines that don't have variable valve timing, they really don't do work. They just lubricate the engine. Now, engines with variable valve timing, the oil actually does work. It actually does something, you know. But again, the transmission is oil. All right. You have a filter. Why did GM or Honda or whoever, well, you can't change Honda, but why? Well, a lot of GMs you can't change. But again, just say, he said it was an Impala. I think it was a front wheel drive Impala, I think. But anyway, why did GM put that filter there? To keep dirt from circulating through the transmission, okay? So if you want, he said, he's afraid to change the transmission fluid because all the technicians said that you'll mess the transmission up. He loves his car. It's the only car he has, and he wants it to last. Okay, you changed the oil and filter because you want it to last. You changed the air filter because you want it to last. Why the hell would you not change the transmission fluid if you want it to last? You know what? When I was a kid, my father, I was like 13, something like 14, something like that. My mother had 2 school buses. Every so often, my father would go out there and change the oil in the buses. And I asked my dad one day, why you not change the transmission fluid? And he said, oh, you change the transmission fluid, you'll mess the transmission up. And I remember back then, I didn't know crap about transmissions. And I'm like, that don't sound right. And he said, well, that's the way it is. My father was not a very educated man. And even, to be honest with you, that ain't got nothing to do with it because a lot of educated people believe that bullshit, okay? You know, the Car Wizard, the Car Care Nut, and all them other idiot-ass YouTubers that tell you, don't change the transmission fluid if it got 180,000 miles, you'll mess it up. Check this out. They say that the old transmission fluid has debris. It has grit. And that debris and grit is what makes the clutches hook. And when you train the transmission fluid, you put that new slippery transmission fluid in, the clutches will slip. That's what they say, right? There is a filter inside the transmission. That filter keeps the debris and dirt from circulating through the transmission. So that's bull crap. There's grit, there's no grit. There's grit in the filter, but it ain't circulating through the transmission. Why? Because the filter keeps it from circulating. What does the oil filter in the engine do? It keeps dirty oil from circulating through the engine. Some people say, well, Black, the oil be still black. Yes, it's not black because of dirt. It's black because of carbon. When you burn gas, you create carbon. Even the best running engine in the world still creates carbon. They create less carbon, but it still creates carbon. And that's what turned the oil black. And if you don't believe me, buy a car that runs on propane or natural gas, okay? Change the oil in that car. Even if it's the 350 VC, whatever. My Mercedes, right? I don't think Mercedes make a natural gas engine. I don't think. But just say if you converted that Mercedes to natural gas, right? And you change the oil, you can go a lot longer in that engine before the oil turn black. You know why? Because natural gas, I'm sure it's got some carbon in it, but it's got a hell of a lot less than gasoline. So the oil won't turn black as quick. And if you say I'm lying, look it up. Y'all always want to talk about the internet, act like the internet got every answers. And it's a lot of answers. It's also a lot of bullshit too, okay? But again, people who have natural gas or propane cars will tell you it takes longer for the oil to turn black because that fuel doesn't have as much carbon in it. But get back to it. That's really all I got to say. That's all I got to say. And this particular YouTube, he's probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but he's half white, half black. So I'm sure he's got that whiteness in him. You know, white people believe that white people are not going to lie to them. White people honestly believe, there are some black people that feel the same way. There are some Asian people feel the same way. There are some Latin people that feel the same way. German people believe that German people are not going to lie to them. Okay? So they believe whatever they say because they're not going to lie to them. And there are some, well, we call them pro-black. That's what I call them. Black people call pro-black people that will believe anything a black person say. Anything a black person say. You got white folks same way. Anything a white person say, they're going to believe. And you got black folks. Anything a white person say, they're going to believe it. Why? Because they believe the white man. The white man is not going to lie to me. And them the very ones that lying to your ass. Drake, y'all have a good day.